how are you equipped to handle with those differing viewpoints, and what do you think you can do to kind of help reach across the aisle and move things forward in the state of Idaho?
Yeah, I think that it has to be known that anyone who's going to go to the state house, that they're going to have to work with people who think differently than they do, who believe differently than they do. And really, when you stop and read the historic rationale behind the establishment of a constitutional republic, it's actually the legislators would actually understand that it actually benefits us to hear and to think and to argue and debate issues because we come to better conclusions because we're thinking things like because I do believe a certain way, I'll have a tendency to express myself in the confines of that without the benefit of someone who thinks differently or would oppose this thought. And maybe I haven't thought of it like that. And how would I consider this? And so the thing that perhaps is the most unfortunate thing that's happened inside of our government is that we've lost the ability to disagree with each other. We've lost the ability to civilly debate and have conversation. And I think at the end of the day, we're better off whenever we sit down or we stand on the floor of the House and we argue from different vantage points and we come to a better conclusion. So I think that I would be capable of doing that. Listen, I've lived with people all my life who think like me and think differently than me. Even here in the city of Twin Falls, on a pretty regular basis, I sit down with religious leaders of lots of different faiths, lots of different religions, and we have some pretty heated and straightforward and frank conversations. But we also, at the end of the day, know that we're neighbors, and I don't have to watch my back; they don't have to watch their back, and I don't have to change what I believe. And so I think at the end of the day, I have a better understanding why they think or why they believe like they do, and they would have a better understanding from that vantage point from me as well. So I think it's a good question. I appreciate that question, Shane.
This will be a fun one. There are going to be people, because you are pastor of a church, that are going to have concerns over that separation, obviously, of church and state.
Yeah.
And what would you say to them to make them feel more comfortable with how you will handle that in your political life?
Yeah, and I really do appreciate that question, and I want to think about two things in relationship to that good question. That first of all, I would address and take us to the Idaho Constitution. The preamble of the Idaho Constitution states this: "We, the people of the state of Idaho, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom." And then it goes on and articulates, much like what the U.S. Constitution does, the liberties that we have. And so the Idaho Constitution actually acknowledges and makes it very clear that we as a people are grateful to Almighty God. So I start from there to say that it's actually not out of place for people of faith to be engaged in the government, especially when the government that we live in acknowledges the Almighty God and that we're grateful to him. And then I think I would also say inside of this is that I'm not running to be the pastor of the state of Idaho. And I'm grateful that there is no such office. I'm running to be a representative of my neighbors. I'm running to be a representative of District 24.